WCBI News at 10 starts now.
In a policy that only impacts Mississippi, the NCAA will prohibit the state's sports teams from hosting regional games and championships or host sites for women's basketball. The collegiate sports governing body announced the decision this morning. It says the state flag is the reason behind the decision. NCAA says it expanded its Confederate flag policy, keeping championship events from being played where the symbol has a prominent presence. This will impact baseball, softball, lacrosse, and women's basketball. In a statement, NCAA leaders wrote, "There's no place in college athletics or this world for the symbols or acts of discrimination and oppression." Mississippi State Athletics Director John Cohen responding to the news with a statement today. Again, it is unfortunate that our hardworking student athletes, staff, and coaches could potentially be affected by something beyond their control, but we understand this is bigger than athletics, unquote. Cohen also doubling down on a statement from Thursday saying they support a change to the state flag. Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter voicing his support to change the state flag, agreeing with this statement from Mississippi's public universities, quote, "Today we are committed to continuing to do our part to ensure Mississippi is united in its pursuit of a future that is free of racism and discrimination. Such a future must include a new state flag," end quote. Many businesses in Starkville say the NCAA's decision could be devastating. Retail stores, hotels, and restaurants all look forward to MSU hosting regional events, which are big revenue generators. In May of 2019, Mississippi State's women's basketball hosted the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament, and men's baseball team hosted the NCAA regionals. That month alone, sales tax revenue was roughly $604,000. Business owners and Starkville city leaders believe revenue sales could take a big dip due to the new ruling.
Be very disappointed in it. It would hurt us. I think it would hurt the entire community, hotels, restaurants, you name it.
We're at a point now where we are looking at a loss of revenue, a loss of prestige, a potential loss of students who may feel as though this is not the place they want to be.
And the money doesn't stop at the Starkville city limits. Many of those visitors stay, shop, and eat in West Point and Columbus as well. Today's announcement from the NCAA, right on the heels of a similar statement from the SEC, has made the flag a topic of conversation in the one place where something can be done about it. But as Courtney Ann Jackson reports, so far, it's only talk.
The state flag was a hot-button issue in these hallways before the sports world started weighing in. But I asked, do you think those voices will carry weight in decision-making? Some say they hope they will.
A lot of efforts to change the flag over a lot of years, but I've never seen the momentum quite like this ever in the history of the state.
Obviously, it's affecting the industry, it's affecting our colleges and universities is going to experience. It's really unfair to our student athletes to go on to excel in their respective sports and not be able to compete in their home state.
There are others who say they won't be swayed.
But I have a problem with outside groups coming in and trying to exert economic pressure or what I would consider a shakedown.
Had a referendum in 2001. The people retained the issue for themselves. For us now to change it without their approval tells them their hard work, their opinions don't matter.
Speaker of the House Philip Gunn is standing by his position that the flag needs to be changed.
This is an issue for us. This is a reflection upon who we are as a people. It's a reflection upon the image that we bear across the country.
Of course, to get something passed in this building, the votes have to be there. Gunn says they're having the conversations about whether they've got the support.
So I'm beginning to hear people say, well, this is beginning to hurt us now. We need to consider going a different way.
It would take a 2/3 vote by both chambers to take up legislation to change the flag this session, since the deadlines have passed.
That's 81 in my chamber. So that's putting together a big coalition of people. So it takes a while to come to an agreement on something like that.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
There is a Senate resolution that's been filed, but it has to come out of the Constitution Committee before that 2/3 vote can be attempted. That hasn't happened yet.
Some great weather out there today for the official last day of spring. We had a few high clouds out there on the Alpha Insurance Camera Network time lapse today, But as the sun began to set, we actually had a lot of clouds clearing out there, leaving for a really nice evening. But it was warm, and it's still fairly warm out there even as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. Overnight tonight, temperatures don't fall too much. We're going to stay in the mid and upper 60s, 67 for us here in Columbus. We'll hit 68 in Tupelo, 66 for us in Vernon. Just a few high passing clouds tonight, and generally the same story for your Saturday. Kicking off the weekend like this, I think we wake up mostly sunny, maybe some clouds in here by the afternoon and evening hours, but plenty of blue sky nonetheless, and that allows us to warm up into the low and mid 90s. Heat index values close to 100 degrees for the official first day of summer. I've got your full first alert forecast in just a bit. Scott.
All right, Trevor, thanks so much. Dozens were part of a Cry for Justice march and rally this afternoon in West Point. The march was organized by the Community Action Group of Clay County. They marched from the Justice Complex to City Hall, where a rally was held. Folks marched with signs, and along the way, they prayed. They prayed for peace, protection, and change. Organizer Belinda Rice says it's important to keep marching.
I feel like you can never do enough. And this is a continuation, consistency of what we have to continue to do. Much like Dr. King, you know, they continue to march and continue to protest until they actually saw change.
The Community Action Group of Clay County formed in 2017. Columbus community members are celebrating Juneteenth festivities. They just wrapped up at Southside Park for an evening of music, food, and fellowship. The free event had activities for the entire family. COVID-19 concerns scaled down this year's celebration and had organizers making certain concessions, including hand sanitizing stations and encouraging social distancing. Celebrations like the one here in Columbus tonight have been going on for years, but there has also been a push to make Juneteenth a national holiday. That push seems to be gaining more momentum this year. CBS's Jerika Duncan introduces us to a woman who has a very personal reason for going the extra mile to see that it happens.
At 93,
Take that for the children.
yes, Opal Lee is showing no signs of slowing down.
Put it that way.
During the pandemic, she's been delivering food from her farm to families in need. But it's what she's been doing for years that's gaining momentum, taking steps to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Slaves in Texas didn't know they were free until a General Gordon Granger made his way to Galveston with troops to tell slaves they were free. But this is 2.5 years after the emancipation.
African Americans then and now have celebrated June 19th as their Independence Day. To highlight that history, Lee started a walking campaign across the country to raise awareness for Juneteenth.
For people who say slavery happened a long time ago, why is this so important to have a national holiday?
I say that there's still a form of slavery going on. If people don't have enough to eat, it's a form of slavery. And none of us are free until we're all free.
On June 19th, more than 80 years ago, it was a life-changing event for Lee. When she was 13 years old, she says a white mob burned down her family's home. That experience drives her to this day.
You've been working on this for decades, and here you are at 93 years old, still talking about it, still walking in honor of it. What's the lesson there?
I'm gonna keep right on doing this until I know it's a holiday, and I feel it in my bones.
And this time, it just feels different. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
A lot of lessons to learn from that woman. We need her spirit and her aspirations.
Absolutely.
Love
Love to have a conversation with her.
Yes, I'd love to. Would love to. And a cup of coffee. That sounds like
Love it.
That sounds like fun. All right, Trevor. Tomorrow, first day of summer.
Yeah.
Partly cloudy on the top of that.
Great pool weather.
Okay,
period.
that's all we
I know
care
that's what you're
about.
looking
That's
for.
all we care about.
I'll just skip to the pool weather. That's all Scott wants to know about for Saturday. And if you're doing the same thing, going out to the pool tomorrow, we're going to be warm and humid, but rain chances are going to increase as we get into the beginning of next week. I've got those details in my first alert forecast on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert Accuweather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Birch.
First day of summer officially tomorrow. Around 4 p.m. is when summer's going to start. Here in Mississippi and Alabama, though, it starts feeling like summer well before the official summer solstice. But what this really means for us is our daytime hours are going to get shorter and shorter and shorter. So tomorrow, officially the longest day of our year. Over 12 hours of sunlight through the day tomorrow. And in addition to that, it's definitely going to feel like summer. Take a look at the temperature trend through the weekend. Mid-90s and higher humidity for the weekend. Maybe a little closer to normal as we get toward Monday, Tuesday, and the middle and end portion of the week. But at least for the weekend, it is going to be hot and humid. Out there right now, we're looking at 75 degrees here in downtown Columbus. Just a few very high passing clouds out there. Most of us, I think, are going to stay mostly clear overnight tonight. Just a few clouds out there. Nothing major, though. Plenty of starry sky. 67 for the low. We're not going to fall down too much. We're going to stay fairly mild with just a very light wind, mostly calm at times. Today on the Forecast, if you're looking to get out to the pool tomorrow, looking like Chipper, if he's getting on his pool float, this is exactly what Scott Martin is going to look like tomorrow. If you don't know Scott personally, that's him in his pool tomorrow. That's all he does on Saturday, and it's going to be good weather for it. Take a look at this. 93 for the high tomorrow. Just a few afternoon pop-up cumulus clouds. Otherwise, I think we stay mostly sunny. Again, very hot and humid for your Saturday. And of course, this Father's Day weekend, weather overall looking pretty nice. Sunday, 93 for the high. I think we see a few more afternoon pop-up showers and storms for Father's Day. Still nothing major, though. I think most of the day is going to be dry for Sunday with just a few of those afternoon clouds and isolated showers. We are going to be monitoring, though, some increasing rain chances as we get into the beginning and middle portion of the week. Sunday, we're going to call about a 20% chance of an isolated shower. Again, afternoon showers and storms for Father's Day. Nothing too major there. Better rain chances are going to come in Monday and especially into the middle of the week. Tuesday and Wednesday right now, the best chances for some of those rain showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder, and really the rain chances continue here as we get all the way into the end of the week. Here's a look at that Accuweather 7-day forecast. Really the weekend, the best period of the next 7 days, so get outside and enjoy that weather while you can. Father's Day looking pretty nice, hot and humid this weekend though. Temperatures cooling down just a little bit thanks to those rain showers. We'll be in the mid-80s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but again, not a total washout next week, but definitely want to keep that umbrella handy through at least Friday. Overnight lows in the 60s and 70s.
Mentors are working with boys and teenagers, helping them to become men of honor. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. A new initiative is helping teach character traits and life skills to young men in Tupelo. Our Allie Martin has more on the effort.
Every Thursday evening, mentors from all walks of life meet with a group of kids and teenagers from different backgrounds, all with the goal of helping them become men of honor. Each session at Tupelo's Hope Church begins with a meal and Bible study led by a guest speaker.
Those girls that you'll go to school with, go to church with, treat them kind, treat them good.
The initiative is called Men of Honor.
While we do have many young men here that have dads, and they have good dads, they're overwhelming, the majority of them come from fatherless homes. Your everyday, ordinary guy can serve the Lord, can serve his family, and be an impact in their community.
Participants range in age from 7 to 17. They are placed with a mentor who helps lead discussions and other activities.
One thing that we can see is that our communities, they go down because our families are not functional. And one big piece is the father missing from the home. And so this gives an opportunity for us as men to reach out and to say, hey, there are some men that are trying to, live right and do different things. And we want to show you, just how to do some things.
Each session also includes lessons on practical life skills such as how to handle money, filling out a job resume, proper etiquette, and basic auto maintenance and repair.
Are you ready to jump the truck off? All right.
Participants say they are learning valuable lessons from mentors who want to help make a difference.
So if we can instill these characteristics and this relationship with God into their heart when they receive Him, it changes everything. And so that's the goal, that their lives would be changed for the better.
I thought it was pretty interesting. I liked it. I'm sure that I can help some of my friends, help them know about God, you know.
Men of Honor runs through the end of July. Organizers are hoping that lessons learned will have an impact not only on the young men, but also on their friends and family. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
There's no cost to attend Men of Honor. For more information, just go to our website, wcbi.com. Well, local coaches are hoping sports can be a bridge that brings people together. We look beyond the game next in sports.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
The beauty of sports is that they bring all of us together from every walk of life. Hall of Fame head coach Tom Landry once said, "Football is an incredible game. Sometimes it's so incredible that it's unbelievable." As calls for change come from every corner of the country, Chris Bolton talked with area coaches to see how this incredible game works to bring everyone together.
Football is a sport that's all about teamwork, love, and camaraderie, an atmosphere that many coaches think our everyday world could learn from. Some of the top high school coaches in the state set out to create an environment that reflects those beliefs.
We got a great locker room. We don't just have black kids, we got white kids, but we don't hear, you know, friction and all that stuff because we treat everybody like, you know, that's my brother. We don't treat them like that's my black brother, that's my white brother, like that's my brother. Starkville head coach Chris Jones and Tupelo head coach Ty Harden are both leaders of some of the biggest locker rooms in the state. Both believe it's important to practice what you preach.
The whole saying, actions speak louder than words, and I think that's what culture is. It's just what you do every day and what people see, and that's one thing about 13 to 18-year-old young men, they can see through anything. They're some of the smartest people on earth. They can see if somebody's real and somebody's fake. And their words, or however y'all say it, man, they're gonna let you know. And to me, you always want to just try to come correct with kids, but because if you don't become correct with kids, they'll correct you.
Athletes across the country are using their voice when it comes to societal issues, including high school athletes. Coaches know that and are taking out the time to listen and have conversations to better understand their athletes' thoughts and feelings.
The first day we were together as a team, that June 1st date, that was the first thing I wanted to address because it's something that you need to and have to.
Most of it is just listening, to be honest with you, just kind of get their opinion on it, because I don't want to jump to conclusion and tell them this is how you should feel. I can't tell you how you should feel. I want to know how you're feeling first, and maybe let me think about it and let me kind of figure out how I can reach you and help you understand what's going on and help feel and understand your pain.
Wins and championships are always the goal when a team steps foot on the gridiron, but that's not the end-all be-all. The same messages coaches are telling their players to get the win on Friday night are the same messages they believe the young men they're molding will carry with them the rest of their lives.
We can't deny that you're black, you're white, but what you also can't deny is a person's heart. It's bigger than just like your world, your culture. See, to me that helps you understand, like, you know, this kid who didn't grow up the way you grew up, who might not have a meal tomorrow, but you sympathize for that kid because I'm in the locker room with that kid. I know kids go hungry, you know, because my best friend used to be that way, or whatever the case may be, because I played ball with him, versus your circle, all y'all rich, all y'all got money, y'all don't understand what it feels like to not have, like, versus, yeah, I'm rich or whatever the case may be, but I play with some guys who don't have, you know, and it hurts me to see that they don't have. Hopefully, you know, when the guys leave me, you know, when you're 19, 20, you're 30 years old, you know, you can have that same effect on your wife, your kids, and guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna have that effect on another family, and another family, and another family.
In order to reach the athletes they see every day, both coaches know there's one important key to send their message.
We have to adapt because y'all are the future, and y'all got some bright ideas, and sometimes we're so set in our old ways, and we don't get a chance to, like, truly open up and see, like, okay, you might have a point.
If you're not able to adapt and get what the times are going on, you're gonna get left, or you're not going to reach these people that are out here. You're not gonna be able to connect with them because you got to adapt to them, and you've got to do what's right by them.
Once the stadium lights turn off, the bleachers are empty, and the game is over. Harden holds firm to this belief about the world.
And this generation of young adults are going to be the people to change it.
In Columbus, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
Tune in Sunday as we continue our conversation with coaches about representation of minority coaches in Mississippi high school sports. That's it for sports. We'll be back right after the break.
Father's Day weekend overall looking pretty nice. A hot and humid one, though, as summer officially begins tomorrow. We're looking at 93 Saturday and Sunday, a partly cloudy sky. Can't completely rule out an isolated shower for us on Sunday. Better rain chances are going to come into play by the beginning and middle portion of next week. Best rain chances look right now to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. But, Scott, best chance just to keep the umbrella handy all next week.
You know, you can't ring in summer with a rainy day.
Obviously.
Right?
I'm glad we have the weekend at least.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Trevor. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.